go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Masters Fantasy Show, brought to you by MastersFantasyFootballLeagues.com. As always, I'm joined by the Masters crew, Dynasty Owl, the Doc. What's up, guys? How you doing today?
Doing great.
I'm excellent, Kamish.
Good stuff, man. Glad to hear it. We're coming back at you guys with some more Dynasty Spotlight trading episodes. As always, man, I've been going through the trades all week, hand-selected a few of my favorites. These guys are going to dive into them. Before we do, if you're looking for a place to play fantasy football, MastersFantasyFootballLeagues.com. Over 600 Dynasty Leagues, 1,000 email redraft leagues a year. Definitely your premier destination for fantasy football. With that said, let's jump into this. I got a blockbuster coming up on the screen. Couldn't wait to bring this one to you guys all week. We got Saquon Barkley and Brandon Ayuk in a second for Cam Akers and CD Lamb. Your guys' thoughts?
Wow. So I love all four of these players involved in the trade. I'm gonna go with the Saquon side though, because I still think Saquon just has so much potential still. Love Cam Akers on the other side. Obviously CD gets the nod over Ayuk, but I think that's even closer than a lot of people would say. So I'm gonna go Saquon and Ayuk, but love CD and Akers as well.
Yeah, that's a real tough one, but I think I'm going to agree with the Dynasty Owl over here, and I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley being the best player in the trade still, despite all the injuries. And Ayuk is a guy that I feel really good about going into year two. So, yeah, I'm going to go with that side, too, just by a hair.
All right, Next trade popping up on your screen here. We got Cam Akers for Joe Burrow, the 1.4 and the 1.5.
Cam Akers is the most traded player. That's what I've learned. Love Cam Akers. Got him around those slots last year and felt great about it. But if I'm going to get Joe Burrow and two of those mid-first this year, early to mid, I think I might pull the trigger on that.
I agree. I think Joe Burrow is like the most underrated quarterback in fantasy for literally no reason.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting Joe Burrow and just throwing out names. Like, I mean, that can be ETN and Waddle or, you know, could be anyone.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm with you guys. And not only is Joe Burrow probably the most underrated quarterback, for me, I think Cam Akers is the most overrated running back in fantasy right now.
I think that might be true.
Yeah.
As much as I like Cam Akers, he is getting...
And I'll be honest, as I flipped to the next page, I was like hoping it wasn't Cam Akers again. Like literally, this guy's getting traded like crazy.
Yeah. It's a lot, for sure.
Next trade popping up on your screen, we got DK Metcalf from the 2.2 for Jarvis Landry, the 1.12, 2.12, and a first-round pick. Your guys' thoughts?
Man, to me, this one's actually not that close because that 2.2 and 1.12 really aren't that different. Mm-hmm. You're basically getting DK for like Jarvis and a first. I think the DK side gets that one.
Yeah, I agree. As much as I think Jarvis is the number one Browns receiver this season, I got to go with DK.
Yeah, just so much upside with DK still. All right, good stuff. Next trade popping up on your screen. We got Alvin Kamara, the Cleveland Browns defense, a first and a second. Good to see the Browns defense getting traded.
Yeah, get that love,
For Miles Sanders, Calvin Ridley, and a third-round pick. Your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, so this offseason, the Browns defense added Clowney. No, I'm just kidding. Man. This one's tough.
Yeah, it is tough.
Yeah, right before you go, interesting stat. John Beast texted me before. I think he texted all of us. The Browns won 6 games when the opponent scored 30 points last year.
Really? I guess, I could think, the Bengals
I couldn't remember.
Twice.
Yeah.
I feel like they scored.
I thought it was interesting. I was thinking to myself, it's going to be a lot harder to score 30 points this year, I would think.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You know what? I like the Browns defense, but I don't really think it has much bearing on the trade.
Right.
I'm going to go with Kamara the first and the second, though, and just by a hair. I don't know. I love Miles Sanders. Philly scares me. And I really like Calvin Ridley, too. But, all considered, I'm going to go with the best player in the trade and, an opportunity at a high first next year. Hopefully, if you get lucky.
Yeah, to me, like that first rounder is like the biggest thing. So it's such an unknown. Is it an early first? Is it a late first?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like if it's an early first, I'd go that way. If it's late first, I go the other way. So I'm really torn. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I got. If it's an early first, I go that way. Very, very.
But you can't.
I can't do that.
Yeah. Right. I need something concrete.
All right. In that case, I'm gonna take the other side. I'm just gonna say, you know what? Good chance that ends up as the 1.10 a year from now, and you're getting Miles Sanders and Calvin Ridley, who we like those guys a lot. So
Very true, yeah.
I'll take that side.
Yeah, and as much as I do like Kamara, and I do like that side of the trade, I mean, we're not that far off from starting to look at Kamara as one of these older backs with a ton of mileage.
I will say, at least in his sake, it's a little less.
A little less.
You know, it's not like Derrick Henry or Zeke, these guys that are getting a zillion carries a year. Like, they do seem to use him more sparingly, but yeah, I think without Mark Ingram, you saw a little bit of an uptick in targets too. So I think you're right.
All right, guys, next trade popping up on your screen here. We got a double header. We got Dalvin Cook, Ty Johnson, and Russell Gage for Chris Carson, Leonard Fournette, Curtis Samuel, the 2.3 and a future 1. Second trade, Mike Williams for Jarvis Landry. You guys can both touch on one. Go ahead.
Man, this first one's a doozy. A lot of pieces, yeah. Obviously, it's really Dalvin Cook for all that stuff. There's a lot of good stuff in that stuff. But Dalvin, I think, is the king piece of that trade, and I don't know. I'm always trying to get the best player in the deal, trying to win that championship. But it's a good price for Dalvin. But I'll go with Dalvin just because he's Dalvin.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. In terms of the other one, and I know I've been hyping up Mike Williams a little bit lately. Gosh, man, you know what? I'm gonna go with Jarvis just because, and I know he's older. But I just feel like Jarvis, and I mentioned it just a couple trades ago, I feel like Jarvis will be the number 1 receiver on the Browns this year. You know, long term, I don't know if Odell stays. I still like Jarvis to be the best fantasy producer on the Browns. But Mike Williams, just too many injuries for me, and I don't know if I can trust him long term either. So I'll go with the guy that I know will produce at least for the next 2 to 3 years.
All right, Gustav, I actually just realized that was all like the same trade.
Because it was the same two guys.
Yeah, same two guys.
Crazy, yeah. Good
stuff. All right, and the last trade of this episode popping up on your screen, we got Josh Jacobs in the 1.6 for Jerry Jeudy in the 1.4. Which side would you rather be on?
Woo.
I want Jeudy in the 1.4. And I've never really been huge on Josh Jacobs, but them adding, I don't know why I'm blanking.
Kenyon Drake.
Yeah, Kenyon Drake. Yeah, them adding Kenyon Drake makes me feel a little better about not liking Josh Jacobs, I'll say. And I feel like Jeudy will bounce back big time with Cortland Sutton on the other side this year. So I'll take Jeudy, who's got a lot brighter future, and I'll take the 1.4.
I just want to say a few trades ago, the team name was Judge Judy, with Judy obviously spelled like Jerry Jeudy. Great team name. Like I've said in the past, I always hate it when they don't have that guy on their team, so I hope he does actually have Jerry Jeudy on his roster.
Yes.
And the guy who's getting Jerry Jeudy in this trade should maybe change his name to Judge Judy. But no, I think I'm going to go with that side of the trade as well. And even though the 4 and the 6 don't sound that different, I think there could be a big difference this year. Because, just off the top of my head, we got, like Jamar Chase, Najee Harris, Kyle Pitts, and then like ETN. So, yeah, I don't know. That 4 could be – you could get one of those 4 there. Yeah, I don't know.
It could be a big difference. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. And just back to those team names, hopefully this Shark Tank has DJ Shark.
Yeah.
Oh,
better.
yeah.
Better.
Or AJ Shark, as some of you guys pointed out from the last show. I will add both these players maybe get a huge upgrade at quarterback.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I think both of them. Judy more, but I'd like Jacobs more with Rodgers under center too. Yeah. I'll see how that pans out. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this edition of the Dynasty Spotlight Series. Thanks so much for watching. If you could, hit the like and subscribe button. Come be a part of the Masters family. Love to have you. Any last words, guys?
Thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you.